understand little things. If you lean into one side in your chair a lot, if you fall into habits of maybe you're watching the TV and you're stretching one side, or you've constantly got one leg crossed, things like that you don't think will have an impact, but actually, over the course of time, it starts to alter slightly the way that your muscles are working, the way that your spine might be aligned.
We'll use some of the techniques that we use that are combined assessment, and also if we find something, we do some work, such as rotating the ankle. And if we find there's an impairment in the ankle, that's telling us there's a problem there. Now, what we don't know is that because there's a problem in that ankle, or is it because there's a problem in the opposite knee that they've already told us about, which is causing them to limp and throw themselves down on the ankle? Or is it a problem coming, strangely, from possibly as far up the body as the jaw? Generally speaking, Bowen Therapy is very useful for all age groups. I think if we were to look at children, typically they tend to respond, in my experience, quicker than adults because they've got less layers of compensatory behaviour because they've not lived so long. But there are parallels with that in elderly people, in my view. So if I've got elderly people, and I have a lot of people who are in their 90s here, they lived in an age before interventionist medicines, and they were not taking drugs and things like that, and they often respond extremely quickly as well.
I feel positive effects that I've personally found from Bowen quite far-reaching. So there's obviously the physical side of things, and then there's understanding, like I say, the right vitamins and the right minerals to put in your body to help yourself, restore and rebuild yourself properly. I feel that from a sports perspective, and I've done personal training myself, and I've done like PE at college and things like that, so I was quite aware of the sort of normal side of health and physio, if you like, and I wasn't so understanding of the complementary side of fitness. So it's quite new to me, and I felt like it was a bit strange at first because I wasn't used to it, because the kind of process I've been through previously was, if there was a problem with an area, you look at that area to try and repair it, whereas this was the first time a more holistic approach to my health and fitness had been taken into account to try and find out, where these problems had actually originated and how we could put them right.
I work with a top elite, an ex-elite athlete, if you like, who used to run for her other European country. She's not British, and she was used to a team of physiotherapists, massage therapists, and so on, all looking after her and telling her what to do. And about 6 months before she came to me, she'd been measured for orthotics. And orthotics, for those who don't know, are kind of an insole in the shoe that hold her foot up, because they considered her right leg to be shorter than her left leg. So I worked on this lady. She'd had severe head injuries because somebody jumped on her in the swimming pool when she was in her 20s, very, very early 20s, while she was an athlete. And it knocked her jaw out and everything else to such an extent that they had to completely realign her teeth and everything else. And in doing that, they've actually meant that her jaw will never go back into alignment, which will have ongoing medical issues, because the teeth and the bite have been made beautiful with a misaligned jaw. So I did various bits of bone work on her, and she was amazed to find the layers that had peeled off, including reliving, if you like, the trauma of some of the things that she'd gone through in her life, because it does seem to work sometimes on those levels as well, because the brain starts to tap into the body and open up different channels of the things that need to be healed. But we got her then to a stage where, after about 6 months, the only thing that happened was when she went running, she would end up with a problem in one hip and the opposite knee. So then I say no orthotics. So I then get a referral for her through to a podiatrist, and I said, I want her to run without her orthotics, but only if you think she's okay to do so. But equally, if you spot then, if there's any issues arising, I can send her back to you, and then you can give her a revised orthotic based on how her body's progressing. In the last year, she's had no regression, and she's progressed to an extent that she never thought she'd ever be. And I think that's pretty incredible. That's Bowen.